Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I'm hand-holding the Action 2 camera today. I am over at the schoolyard not far from my house. It is a Sunday afternoon. Finished the Drone Seeker show, got my Drone Seekers shirt on. Shout out to all my Drone Seeker friends and all my drone friends for that matter. Hey, so I felt like flying this afternoon and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but one of the things I realized is that I have not flown the little DJI Mavic 3 Pro in a while. So I got out the Mavic 3 Pro. I already had some batteries charged up for it, so it was the ideal time. And then I have, hopefully you'll be able to see it here, I've got my, my e-bike. Well, rode over here on the e-bike. What are we going to do? Well, you see the drone and the e-bike. Yeah, let's try some tracking. You know, I've recently done some tracking experiments with the Mavic 3 Pro and with the DJI Air 3, and you know, kind of had mixed results. Now, what I'm going to tell you about this guy is that it does not have any kind of sideways obstacle avoidance. I'm not exactly sure what the range is on these front sensors, how far to the side they'll look, but I'm not taking any chances. We're not going to have this drone down low when we try and track. We're going to have it up in the air, but we'll see if it does any better job of tracking me on the e-bike than the other two drones did. It may, you never know. Things, there's always surprises. One of the things that I noticed about the Mavic 3 Pro and the Air 3, and by the way, I think the Air 3 did marginally better than the Mavic 3 Pro, but as soon as you got obscured by anything, especially if you were going around a corner, if you were just going straight underneath something, often it would catch you on the other side, but if you were making a corner or something, nah, it didn't. It just couldn't follow you. So anyway, we're going to try it out and see what happens here. And then I've got some ideas. I just want to fly a little bit. And one thing about this drone is we know we get some good flight time out of the battery. I just have the smaller battery, the 249 gram battery in it right now, but that's still going to give us plenty of flight time. I got another kind of a surprise. I tried to show it to you in a previous video, and I was hoping that people would comment on it in the comment section, but I never heard anything from anybody. So I'm going to try it again today, and I'm actually going to talk about it a little bit. Then I am looking towards the Boise front. We've got some interesting clouds, so we'll look out that way, and we'll take some videos too. It should look pretty good. Mostly, I just want to fly, so let's quit messing around. Let's get this drone in the air. Okay guys, I just started a screen recording. I had to go through the account logged in process. Evidently, I have not logged into this drone in over 30 days. And in DJI's grand wisdom, if you haven't logged in over 30 days, or flown the drone in over 30 days, or used the controller, it wants you to log in again. And you got the DJI RC that has no network connection. So then you have to hotspot it to your phone or hook it to Wi-Fi somehow. And if you're in an area where there's no Wi-Fi, well, you're just out of luck, I guess. You're not going to get to fly your drone, or your drone will fly in a very limited fashion. DJI, you can do better. I understand wanting people to log in, but let's do it maybe not have to go through that log-on process, but maybe every 60 or 6 months or something like that. The way you're doing it doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, other than that, we're ready to go. And I've already been through the safety menu, so I'm not going to repeat that. But we are shooting in 4K 30 frames per second. Let's go ahead and start recording here. And we'll do the tracking part of this first. Let's go ahead and let's take off here, though. We're going to do an automated takeoff. And you're seeing that on the or you did see that on the, and we've got an aircraft up above us. I'm trying to look to see. We had the Air Force Thunderbirds in town this weekend. We had an air show, so I was just wondering if it was perhaps a military aircraft, but it's not. And we are at an altitude zone, we know that. Let's get out of that. Yeah, Wi-Fi, now it shuts off Wi-Fi, there you go. Good old DJI. And by the way, the RC2 does not do that. It evidently has a little more powerful processor. So, so I don't know, let's see if we can bring this guy down and bring it in front of the camera. I've got the camera down low, but it's not gonna because we've got, well, I was trying to get to the menu there. Let's get out of battery info. Nope. Well, I'm trying, folks. Battery info, we're going to the safety menu. We're going to turn obstacle avoidance off here for a second. We're going to bring this guy down low and see if we can bring it into the camera here a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get low enough without, it'll go into landing mode, so I can't really get it low as the camera is, but so okay, obstacle avoidance back on. And you know, while we're at it, let's just try out that obstacle avoidance. Let's shoot it towards me. And yeah, it's got forward obstacle avoidance, and you can see there, it just went right around the tree, the e-bike and everything. So let's bring it back in front of this tree right here. I'm trying to get it centered on it, and full stick forward, and it just moves around us all. It's not going to, it's smart enough, it's not going to run into anything. Okay, let me drop that camera down here just a little bit, and I'll look up and we'll do our droney here that we usually do. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. And sadly, we burn a bunch of battery messing around there, getting logged back in, but got a nice little droney. Okay, so I'm going to start off with tracking first. So we're going to bring this guy right back to us. Let's get down low. Man, this you know, if you think of these mini drones as not as fast as their bigger brothers, and they're not, but they're not slow either. This guy's definitely got some horsepower. Okie dokie. Maybe we can bring it in a little bit closer. And I'm going to get the bicycle ready and get ready to go here. So I don't know how much of that will show on the video, but we'll figure it out. I need to grab the Action 2 camera, and we'll get the Action 2 camera set up on the bicycle. Oh yeah, I better. We're all in on safety, so I better put a helmet on right over my ball cap. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. So I'm going to back up the drone and get some altitude with it. I'm just going to leave my backpack up against that tree. There's nobody here, so hopefully nobody will bother it. And we want to get high enough that we're well above all the trees here. I'm going to actually go maybe a little higher than that. And I'm going to get out in the sun here. Okay, so there I am down there. Let's see if we can get the drone to track me. We're in normal mode, and not having much luck getting it into spotlight mode. So let's try that again. Well, there we go. Okay, so let's go active track. Unable to switch. Following subjects. What did it say there? Function supports following subjects such as people or vehicles. So it is not recognizing me as a person. So let's bring it down a little further. And let's see if yeah, now it recognizes me, I think. Yeah, I don't know. This may not work. So I'm going to bring the drone in front of me here. We're going to get rid of that X there, and I'm going to bring it down and give it a better chance of recognizing me as a person, and then I'll put the drone higher in the air. But this is a little bit of an auspicious start. Okay, active track. Active track. Okay, and we're going to go trace, so I'm going to move it back a little bit. Then let's try that active track again. And trace and go. So let's see how it does here. And it's got me. It's doing just fine. So hopefully I've got it high enough here that that it's not going to have any problem with trees. So I've got it in trace, so it's following me from behind. This little drone doesn't give you the version where you can choose whether you want it to follow you from, you know, whatever side or front, etc. You can put it in parallel mode where it'll stay to the side. But I don't know, I'm a little nervous with some of these trees here. I sure don't want to, I mean, you can tell the drone is, we're getting kind of close to some trees. I'm going to try and pick it up here. Yeah, and it's not really going much higher. So, you know, my concern is that I push it sideways into a tree. And I am being very conservative here. I stopped there to give it time to catch up to me. And see, you can see it go over the top of that tree there. As long as it's facing forward, it has obstacle avoidance. But what I'm not going to do is go zigzagging through the trees like I did with the other drones, because again, it does not have any kind of sideways obstacle avoidance. Now, this is going to be a trick right here, because these trees, in fact, I'm not even sure I want to go under them, because I don't want to send the drone, you know, of course it's not going to go sideways. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Yeah. Well, it's got me, so let's keep going. Let's keep going straight. Yeah. So I think it lost me, so. Yep. It definitely lost me. I'm going to punch straight up, gang. Better safe than sorry. That's what I'll say. And see, like this far away, it wouldn't recognize me. We'll try it again here. I'll see if I can. The problem was I had to get it down low for it to recognize me as a person. So I'm off in another spot here. Let's see if it'll, let me fly it over to me and let's try it again. But I just don't think that it will follow me from this high, because it will not recognize me as a person. So let's try it one more time. I might even be able to get a little bit lower, but boy, not really. Yeah, and it just won't track when it doesn't recognize me. And so here's the problem. What I wouldn't want it to do is dodge an object and go sideways into a branch or something. So I'm kind of blindly pushing it forward here. I'm getting back to my spot under the tree, and then we're going to do a little flying here. So that was just kind of interesting to try. Okay, we're down to 40% battery, so let's get going here. That was really kind of a bust. You had to be low enough for it to recognize me. If I'd been in a car, maybe it might have worked better. But I just got nervous around those trees. You know, I just don't want to run the drone sideways into a tree, which it could do on obstacle avoidance because it does not have sideways OA. So, what I was going to tell you about and point out to you, and I don't know if anybody noticed it, my favorite cell phone tower here, they've made a few changes. If you'll notice there, it's grown a little bit. Let's just do an orbit like I always do around this guy. They must have been watering it underneath because it grew some new branches and a new top there. They more than doubled the size of this thing. I mean, the original part there is the lower part, and then they added another length to it on top. And boy, look at all that spaghetti! Look at all those wires. So I don't know what cell phone company it is or cell phone companies, but what you can see is that our cellular infrastructure in the United States is just growing like crazy. It just seems like they're always looking for new places to put up more antenna to service more people. But yeah, lots going on there. And like I said, I did an orbit around this tower in my Mavic 3 Pro video, and I was waiting for somebody to notice, to say something, and they never did. Let's go right over the top of it here and give you a look at what's going on. You can see down below there, you can see there's still some equipment and some wires, etc. But like I said, they must have put a lot of fertilizer on this guy because it's definitely grown. I always, I get a lot of flack sometimes from people that tell me, wow, it's sure dangerous to fly around that cell phone tower. One of these days I'm going to land a drone right in that center on that top part right there. What do you think? Maybe we'll do it right now, huh? What do you think? Let's just land right on the center. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's go straight up. I'm going to do a little twirl and rise here, and we'll see if we can do a little bit of a reveal as we come up. One of my favorite moves that's so easy to do, and you bring the camera up as you go. Try and do it smoothly, and there you go. Nice day today. It is late summer, end of August, so it's definitely it's a warm day. It's in the 90s right now, so it's definitely hot. But what is interesting is if you look at the trees, they're actually starting to turn here a little bit. We're getting some color in the trees, or starting to turn yellow. Look at that row right there. I'm going to go across the street to Discovery School, and there's a row of trees there that they're definitely dropping leaves on the ground already. Let's head this way, past my favorite cell phone tower. And yeah, this row of trees right down here, look at them start to turn yellow there. And they're dropping leaves already. I don't know if I'm ready for winter or not, but when it's 90 degrees like today, it's hard to believe that it'll even get that cold, but trust me, it will. Okay, let's go over the top of the school here, and it's kind of fun. Usually we're a lot higher up, so we're at a little lower altitude here. But we can get a look at the Boise front. Yeah, we're going to cancel that return to home. It's telling me it wants to return to home. We canceled that. We're pretty close to home, so I'm not worried about it. But let's shoot up, grab some altitude so that you can see the Boise Mountains. And we got some pretty good looking clouds off in the distance. Let's go ahead and zero in on those. This is just a digital zoom. And boy, it's telling me it really wants to come home, but we're in good shape. So we got 2x zoom there. You can see up at the Bogus Basin Ski Resort at the top. But it's really wanting to come home, so we better give it a shot here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit return to home, and return to home, and this guy will come back to us. So I have got the Action 2 camera, and we'll see if we can get some footage of this guy coming down. Here it comes. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the Action 2, but it's almost directly above us, and it's landing. I'm going to get around on the other side here. There's the little drone right there. Boom, down she goes, perfect landing. Hey, okay, the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Tracking, you saw the limitations. It had to be down pretty low to recognize me as a person. You know, if I'd have been in an automobile or something, it might have worked a little better. But the issue was I couldn't get the drone up high enough to clear the trees. And what I didn't want to risk is, because this guy's got no sideways sensors on it, and I don't know how wide these front sensors look, you know, how much they would get. This guy, as long as it's going straight forward, it'll miss objects, but you can push it sideways into something. It doesn't have that kind of vision. So when we got down on this side over here, where it had to go through, essentially through the trees, and it did lose me there, I just didn't want to risk it, and you know, didn't want to have the drone hit a branch or something. So went ahead and kicked it up. It will track. I think if you're in an open area, you know, where you can be down lower, you don't have obstructions, it's going to be fine. But those are kind of limitations to what, well, we've seen it on all three of DJI's major drone families, the Mavic 3, the Air 3, and the Mini 3. So, you know, they do okay as long as there's not obstructions. If there's obstructions, that's when they're going to lose you. That aside, I mean, you know, this is a fantastic little piece of technology. That sounds overcritical, and I'm not really critical. I love this drone, and I love the things that it'll do. You just have to be realistic about what it will and won't do. So flew it around a little bit more. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention, and I had just the 249 gram battery in it. I wasted a bunch of battery having to log back into DJI, and I had to hotspot the controller to my phone, which, by the way, it immediately disconnects as soon as you take off, on and on. Come on, DJI, we can do better than that. Give us, and I understand that you want us to log in if we haven't been logged in for a while, but, you know, give us more than a month. Give us 6 months or something like that. But in any case, anyway, enough of that. We did, however, we orbited my favorite cell phone tower. So I'll let you guys, like I said, I was disappointed when nobody said anything on my last video about how my favorite cell phone tower had sprouted some new branches. But anyway, just kind of interested, just a little bit of fun. Flew it around, flew it over Discovery School, got to show you guys the Boise front there, and, you know, some nice clouds over there. So anyway, I just wanted an excuse to fly. I'll be honest with you, I just wanted to fly a drone. It's Sunday afternoon, I just wanted to fly a drone. That's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yeah, you're going to see more Mini 3 Pro content in the future, no question about that. We are on the kind of the Mini 4 waiting, you know, all the rumors about the Mini 4. Will there, won't there? Who knows? Will it come before Christmas? Who knows? Who knows if there even is a Mini 4? Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now. Hey, okay, gang, let's do a little bonus footage for the ride home here. So, yeah, you know, you guys are pretty familiar with this territory because I fly drones here all the time, but this is the Pathways Middle School. And I see the camera kind of jiggling around on the mount here, so we'll see how steady this footage is. That'll be a good test of DJI's stability. So anyway, I'm kind of take you probably a little different way than you've seen before. I'm going to, I thought about going up on the sidewalk, but I think I'm going to stay on the street because there is on this particular street, they do have a bike lane, so bike lanes are always welcome. I wish cities would do more of that. And this one probably has a bike lane, and boy, that camera is really jiggling around. So, and that's me kind of adjusting it a little bit. So, we'll see how steady this footage is. So I'm going to make sure there's nobody behind me, and I'm going to turn into Discovery School here. So those other schools that we were at were charter schools. This is one of the Ada County public schools. And in the video, you heard me talking about the row of trees that are starting to turn. That is directly in front of me here now. You can see, I think probably a little better on this camera, how those trees are definitely starting to brown up. And I'm just realizing I cannot cross into that other parking lot, so we're just going to kind of go around the corner here and back out onto the street. And then you've also seen in my videos before the little fireman's training station. That's right here. Let's just go through their parking lot. And you know, this is just like a double wide modular home that they set on a foundation, but I'm sure it's just classrooms. You know, they do classroom stuff in there, and I can see they parked their safety house. And then right next to it, I'm going to go on the sidewalk here to see if I can point you at it. And this is my favorite cell phone tower, and I can see the camera kind of moved up there a little bit, but there you can see my favorite cell phone tower. And this is where they access it from, is right here. So then there's a walking trail kind of around the charter school grounds here. So we're going to go down that. And I don't, you know, usually they've got a disc golf course set up here, and you can see one. I keep having to push the camera down because it's moving as it jiggles around, and you can see one of the baskets right there. But there's almost always people out here playing disc golf, but not today. I guess it's too hot. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, I apologize. The camera I keep having to push it back down as it bounces around here on the mount. But this is kind of a nice little walking trail, especially in the evenings. You'll see a lot of people out walking their dogs and so forth here. Kind of fun. I mean, I realize this is a school grounds, but in the evening it kind of comes alive with people just going on an evening walk, etc. And boy, we're really bouncing around, and again, I'm having to readjust that camera. But anyway, we're next to the charter schools. I'm kind of right in front of the medical arts school here. Well, heck, we'll turn here. My brakes are squeaking, and we'll go. That is the medical arts school right there. And, you know, I don't know, I assume this is their outdoor lunch area. You know, schools have a lot nicer facilities than what I remember when I was a kid, I can tell you that. So anyway, and then this, yeah, they've got their ambulance that they practice in. But now as we cross here, this next school is a Meridian Technical Charter School. And I think this is where charter schools really add value when they prepare kids for, and heck, we can turn in here too. This is kind of their lunch area. This is, you know, they kind of prepare kids for their next part of their education, whether that happens to be college or even just an associate's degree kind of career. So anyway, it's kind of interesting stuff. So yeah, so you saw that. And we'll head back out, head towards home here. Like I said, I'm surprised, you know, it's hot, but it's not that hot. I kind of thought there'd be some people out here playing disc golf, etc., but not so much. So, back into the shade here, try not to hit any of these poles. Yeah, I guess the camera's adjusted okay. It keeps kind of tilting back, so I keep pushing it forward. And it's probably crooked. We probably won't have a straight horizon. And I'm going to stay on the sidewalk for this part of it here, because this is a fairly busy street. This is called Locust Grove. Wow, that was a Lexus 4x4 going by there, and he was all jacked up. Not often you see a Lexus with a lift kit on it. But then again, this is Idaho, so tilt that camera back forward, and we're on the street heading for home. Hey, okay, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Bye now.